Africa, land of stories. Listen up, children, gather round. Let me tell you about Africa, a land bursting with stories. Stories older than time, stories whispered on the wind. Africa's heart beats with rhythm. It's in the music, the dance, the stories passed down. Stories about gods and goddesses, powerful and wise. These ain't just make-believe. They're about life lessons, about nature, about right and wrong, about who we are. So, lean in close. Let me tell you about these amazing beings. Let me take you on a journey through African mythology. First up, we got Anansi. Now, he ain't your typical god. Anansi is a spider, a trickster. Always got a plan, always spinning stories. He's clever, see? Outsmarting bigger animals, even the gods themselves. But his tricks ain't always mean. Sometimes they teach important lessons. Like the time he gathered all the world's wisdom, stored it in a pot, tried to hide it up a tall tree. But that pot, it was heavy. Anansi, he tumbled down. That wisdom, it spilled out for everyone to share. See, knowledge is meant to be shared. That's what Anansi teaches us. Now hold on tight, because we're talking about Oya. She's a whirlwind. Oya is not just any goddess. She's a force of nature, embodying the very essence of the wind and storms. Her presence is felt in every gust of wind and every clap of thunder. The goddess of wind, storms, and change. Fierce and powerful, just like a summer thunderstorm. Oya's energy is electric, and her power is undeniable. She can bring about sudden and dramatic transformations, much like the storms she commands. Oya ain't afraid of nothing. She stands tall against the fiercest winds and the darkest clouds. Her courage is unmatched, and her spirit is unbreakable. She embodies the strength and resilience of a true warrior. She's a warrior queen, leading her armies into battle. With her at the helm, victory is almost certain. Her strategic mind and fierce determination make her a formidable leader, inspiring those who follow her. She's also a protector of women, especially those who've been wronged. Oya stands as a beacon of hope and justice, ensuring that the voices of the oppressed are heard and their rights are defended. When the wind howls, that's Oya talking. Her voice can be heard in the rustling leaves and the roaring gales, reminding us of her ever-present power and influence. When the river rages, that's her fury. The turbulent waters reflect her anger and determination to cleanse and renew. Oya's fury is a force to be reckoned with, capable of sweeping away the old to make way for the new. But she's also got a gentle side, bringing the rain that makes the crops grow. Her nurturing aspect ensures that life flourishes, providing sustenance and growth to the land and its people. Oya reminds us that change is a part of life. Embracing change can lead to growth and new opportunities. She teaches us to adapt and evolve just as the seasons do. Sometimes it's scary, like a storm. The unknown can be daunting, and the upheaval can be overwhelming. But Oya's presence reassures us that we have the strength to weather any storm. But it can also bring new beginnings, like the fresh air after the rain. After the storm passes, the world feels renewed and vibrant. Oya's influence reminds us that after every challenge, there is a chance for a fresh start and new growth. Get ready to rumble, because here comes Shango, the god of thunder and lightning. He's all about power, justice, and setting things right. Shango's got a fiery temper, just like a bolt of lightning. He's quick to punish those who do wrong, but he's also a righteous ruler protecting his people. When you hear the thunder crack, that's Shango's voice. When you see the lightning flash, that's his power. He's a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. Shango teaches us that we should always fight for what's right. And even though justice can be swift and powerful, it also protects the innocent. Gods among us, echoes of ancient power. Now these gods and goddesses, they ain't just stuck in the past. They still have a powerful presence in African culture today. You see it in the music, the dances, the festivals. People call upon these deities for guidance, for protection, for strength. In some parts of Africa, folks still believe in traditional religions. They honor their ancestors and the spirits of the land. It's a connection to their roots, their history. And even if you don't believe in gods and goddesses, these stories still matter. They teach us about life, about morality, about the human experience. Red thread of destiny binding us together. Now here's something to think about. Imagine a red thread. It's thin, almost invisible, yet incredibly strong. But it stretches across all of Africa, connecting everyone and everything. This thread, it represents destiny. It's a symbol of the unseen forces that bind us together, no matter where we are. It ties us to our past, our present, and our future. This thread is a reminder of the continuity of life, the unbroken chain that links generations. It binds us to our ancestors, to our families, to our communities. It's a connection that transcends time and space, a bond that is both spiritual and emotional. Just like that red thread, the stories of African mythology connect us all. These stories are the threads that weave the rich tapestry of our cultural heritage. They remind us that we're part of something bigger than ourselves. Each tale, each myth, is a thread in the larger fabric of our shared history. They teach us about unity in diversity, about the strength that comes from being interconnected. They show us that our differences are not divisions, but rather, they are the unique threads that make the fabric of our culture so vibrant and strong. So the next time you hear a story about Anansi the spider, Oya the storm goddess, or Shango the thunder god, remember that red thread. These stories are not just tales. They are the living threads that connect us to our ancestors and to each other. Remember that you're connected to something ancient and powerful. This red thread is a symbol of our shared destiny, a reminder that we are all part of a larger story. Remember that you're connected to something ancient and powerful. Our traditions, our myths, and our stories are the threads that bind us together, creating a rich and enduring legacy. Anansi's wisdom lessons in storytelling. Now let's go back to Anansi, that clever spider. He may be a trickster, but his stories always have a point. They teach us valuable lessons about life. One story tells of how Anansi brought stories to the world. He tricked the sky god into giving them up, and then shared them with everyone. Anansi shows us that stories have power. They can teach us, entertain us, and bring us together. They can even change the world. So the next time you hear a good story, remember Anansi. Remember the power of words and the importance of sharing them. Oya's fury, the dance of nature's wrath. Oya, that storm goddess, she ain't afraid to shake things up. She reminds us that nature is a powerful force not to be trifled with. One story tells of how Oya used her winds to drive away invaders. She protected her people and showed her strength. But Oya also teaches us about the importance of balance. Just like a storm can be destructive, it can also bring life-giving rain. So when you see a storm brewing, remember Oya. Respect her power, but also appreciate her role in the natural world. Shango's justice striking down injustice. Now Shango, that thunder god, he's all about justice. In the rich tapestry of African mythology, Shango stands out as a powerful deity who embodies the very essence of justice and righteousness. He can't stand to see innocent people suffer. His heart beats for the oppressed, and his spirit rages against the tyrants who bring misery to the innocent. And when he sees wrong, he takes action. Shango is not one to sit idly by. His response to injustice is swift and decisive. One story tells how Shango punished a wicked king who was mistreating his people. This king, drunk on power, thought he was untouchable, but Shango had other plans. He struck the king down with a bolt of lightning, restoring peace and order. The lightning was not just a weapon, but a symbol of divine retribution, a reminder that no one is above justice. Shango teaches us that we should always stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. His stories inspire courage and resilience in the face of adversity. He shows us that justice is important, even if it means standing up to those in power. Shango's legacy is a call to action, urging us to confront injustice wherever it may be. So when you hear the thunder roar, remember Shango. Let the sound remind you of the power of justice and the importance of standing up for what is right. Remember that justice will prevail, even if it takes time. Shango's stories remind us that the fight for justice is never in vain, and that ultimately, righteousness will triumph over tyranny. The legacy of gods shaping African identity. These stories about African gods and goddesses, they ain't just fairy tales. They're part of a rich cultural heritage that's been passed down for generations. They shape how people see the world, how they understand their place in it, They teach them about morality, about community, about the importance of family and tradition. Even today, these stories continue to inspire, to connect people to their roots, to remind them of the power of their own history. So, let's celebrate the diversity and richness of African mythology. Let's keep these stories alive for generations to come. A tapestry of belief honoring the ancestors. And as we journey through these myths, remember this: Africa's spiritual tapestry is vast. It's woven with threads of many beliefs, each one unique and beautiful. We've only just scratched the surface. There are countless other deities, spirits, and legends waiting to be discovered. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep listening to the stories, because in African mythology, there's a world of wisdom waiting to be unveiled. And who knows, maybe you'll even discover your own connection to that red thread of destiny, that thread that binds us all together. If this story resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on healing and personal growth. Until then, stay connected. Hey.